Hello and welcome to our gentle restorative yoga flow. So you won't really need anything. If you have a mat, you can use that. If you have any props or blocks, feel free to use those. You can roll up a towel and place it under your hips at any time to take any discomfort out. But just remember that you don't have to be good at yoga. You don't have to know anything about yoga to do this video. It's here for us to learn and grow together. All right? So finding a comfortable seated spot on the floor. Again, you can place a cushion or a towel underneath your hips if it's a little uncomfortable. Sitting up nice and tall, length in the spine. Roll the shoulders up and let them just relax down. Hands resting on the knees. You can gently blink the eyes closed and start to breathe in and out through the nose. Feeling the belly and ribs expand naturally. Focusing on the breath, thinking in and out. Gently blink the eyes open with gratitude that we're here. Starting to roll the head around from side to side. And think of lengthening up through the top of the head. That'll help eliminate any clicking, or a lot of the clicking. There's a little tender spot. You can always go back and forth, linger there. This is your practice. Make sure you honor your own body. And go the other direction. Coming back to center with our shoulder rolls now. Rolling the shoulders up and back, full range of motion. So really go forward, all the way up, all the way back, and then all the way press them down. So a lot of times they like to roll forward. We want to roll back and down. Again, if there's a tender spot, you can hold there, roll back and forth. And then switching directions. Back. Good, and then releasing, coming into some rib rotation and rib mobility. Grabbing the knees, press the chest forward, inhale, gaze up. Exhale, round the back, pull the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Exhale, release. And go back and forth with your own breath a few times. Linger as long as you like in any of the positions. And coming back to center, taking the ribs right and left. So you're going to press them all the way to the right, really press, all the way to the left. Back and forth. And then you're going to take them in a circle. So back to the side, front, and around. This increases cerebrospinal fluid production and circulation, helps with our spinal mobility, and when you're ready, switch directions. And release. From here, we're going to do a spinal twist. So going over to the right side, sitting up nice and tall, you can use your hand to help look over the right shoulder. Think lengthen up on the inhale, exhale, twist deeper. And then back to center, switching sides. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. release, and then we're gonna switch legs. So taking the opposite leg in front, maybe feel a little awkward, but we wanna make sure they're nice and balanced. And we're gonna do some side stretches. So reaching the right arm up, exhale over, and reach long with that arm. A lot of times we like to keep it bent, but we're not getting that stretch in the shoulder. So really lengthen and try and keep both hips on the floor. You can walk that left hand out as much as you need. And then from here, we're gonna exhale, turn the torso down. Inhale, turn the torso to the sky. Exhale. Inhale. Feeling a stretch in the sides of the hips, the shoulder, the rib cage, all the muscles. And then coming back up, take that right arm and reach it down, like somebody's pulling the arm away from you. And back up on the inhale. Exhale, reach down. Feel a stretch in the neck. One more. And then we're going to reach around the back, coming back up. And then see if you can press your hand together or just bring your hand behind. And you're going to pull that elbow behind you. All right, so pull the elbow behind, opening the shoulder, and then tilt the head over to the left. Feel the stretch in the shoulder, in the neck. You can even tilt the chin up. Feel the stretch across the jaw and the cheek. Breathing nice and gently. If it's a little uncomfortable to breathe, just come out of it, or a little less intense. And switch, shake it out. So we're opening up all those shoulders that want to roll forward often. All right, switching sides, reaching up with the left arm, exhale over to the right. Keep that left hip on the floor, really reach long. Try not to have it bent. Reach, 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 reach. Breathing into the ribs. And then exhale, turn the torso down toward the floor. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale back up. Exhale one more time. Inhale back up. Hold it here. And then reach long, spread the fingers wide and pull the shoulder down. Like somebody's pulling the arm away from you. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Inhale up. It's working our shoulder mobility. A lot of us conductors, musicians have shoulder issues, so we got to keep those nice and flexible. And then when we come back up, take the arm behind the back. You can hold onto the hand, or if you can reach all the way around and press hands together. Press hands together. Pull that elbow behind you, shoulder down, and then tilt the head to the right. You can tilt the chin up slightly. Breaths. And exhale, release, shake it out. Nice, shake out the hands. All right, coming into our cat-cow. So we're gonna go up on our hands and knees. Feel free to put a cushion or a towel underneath your knees if it's uncomfortable, or modify and do this seated. So inhale, lower the belly, tuck the toes, gaze up. Exhale, point the toes round the back, gaze to the navel. Inhale, gaze up, pull those shoulder blades together. Exhale, protract the shoulder blades apart. And continue with your own breath a few rounds. And then taking the knees nice and wide, big toes touching, you're going to sink the hips back into child's pose. You can place a block under the hips if that's needed. Then we're going to walk the hands forward as much as possible and rest the forehead on the floor. Really reach the arms long. Stretching, press those shoulders in toward the floor. Belly button pulled in. This is stretching our hips, our low back, our shoulders. Come up, back out of it, and come onto our seat again. Nice, send the legs out forward, shake them out. All right, now coming into some hip stretches, you're going to recline back, taking the feet a little wider than hips width distance. And now you're going to let them drop over to the right, letting that left hip come up, that's totally fine, and then over to the left. Now this is working internal and external rotation of the legs. Now we're just going to keep doing this for a while, loosening them up. So when we sit in chairs and cars all day, our hips only stay in one direction. They're often not in external rotation, and they're not really in internal rotation in particular. So this really helps with that. One more time each side. And then we're going to come over to the right side, just keeping those feet there. We're going to pull that knee back just a little bit. We're going to make two right angles, two 90-degree angles. So one with the right leg and one with the left leg. So it's trying to square up as much as possible. Might feel a little bit of pinching, that's okay. You can place a block or a rolled up towel underneath your right hip. And then pressing forward. Now we're going to gently press that right knee down toward the floor. Nice and gentle. And then we're going to press the knee up into the hand and resist against it. So you should feel it in the back of that right hip. And then relax, press the knee back toward the floor. Feel the left hip release a little bit. And then press up into the hand, resisting, feel it in the back of the right hip. And then one more time, gently press it into the floor. And up into that right hand. The left hand. Great, now release, keeping the legs where they are. Recline back and try and get that torso toward the left knee. Now again, this is working the internal rotation of the hip. I have done yoga for years, but we don't really work a lot of internal rotation. So when I started doing these exercises, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, what is this? Ow, hurts. So if it's a little uncomfortable, don't worry. I do these every single morning. All right, now, keeping the feet about where they are, open that left knee and try and keep the right knee on the floor. Again, this is a very strange position. I know it might feel a little weird, but we're stretching the inside of the hip, the gracilis muscle. And again, mobility that we don't often encounter, but keeping that flexibility in the hips. Do it 2 more times. And last time. Open it up, and then we're going to switch this over to the left side. So again, resituate yourself so you have that right angle, the 90 degree in both knees, and then square yourself off as much as possible. And then we're going to gently press the right knee into the floor. I'm sorry, the left knee. Can't tell my right and left today. It's okay. And then press the left knee up into the hand, resisting the feel in the back of the left hip. And then relax, press the left knee down toward the floor. You'll feel the right hip release a little bit. And then push the left knee back up into the hand. relax, press the knee back toward the floor. And then one more time, press it up into the hand. And then release. And relax. Reclining back, keeping the legs where they are. You're going to turn that torso toward the right knee. Now, if you can find that the sides are different, that's okay. Yoga is symmetrical, but the body is not, so that's quite all right. Just breathing here, feeling it stretch all the way across the top of the hip. And then keeping the feet about where they are. Open that right knee out to the side, keeping the left knee as close to the floor as possible. Close internal and external rotation. Last time. And then send the legs forward, shake it out. Nice. All right, bringing the soles of the feet together this time. We're going to sit up nice and tall, bounce up and down. And now holding on to the ankles, we're going to inhale, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, press the chest forward. Now try not to round the back. This time we're just going to press the chest forward. See if you can get the backs of the legs pressing toward the floor. They don't need to touch the floor. If you're up here, that's okay. Everything in our body is okay. Our inflexibility doesn't matter. This yoga is about coming into union with yourself. Your body, your breath, your mind, your spirit. That's what yoga is. It's not about how flexible you are. It's about taking time to connect with you. Come back up. Shake the legs out. And now bring the right knee up, and we're going to open it out to the side, bringing the foot into the inner thigh. Flex the left foot, and then we're going to send that chest forward again. So maybe we're only here. Now if you're back here, really tight hamstrings, that's okay. Just bend the knee a little bit, and then you can straighten up, and then walk forward, and then start to work the legs straight. And if it's not straight today, that's okay. You can also place a block underneath your hips to help. With every inhale, we lengthen. Every exhale, we sink a little deeper. Flexing that left foot. Again, don't press into it too hard. If it's uncomfortable, if it really hurts, just come out just a little bit. Come out, find your center again, and then we go back in. And when you're ready, release, bring the right knee up, send it down, shake it out. We'll switch sides. Bring the left knee up, open it out to the side, and pull the foot in toward the inner thigh. Again, sitting up nice and tall, turn that torso toward the toes, flex those toes, and start to send the chest forward. Again, if you find you're still way back here, bend that knee, sit up tall, and then walk forward. And then we try and straighten that leg by just scooching the heel away. Again, wherever you are today is fine. If you do this every day, every other day, 3 times a week, you'll start to notice over time, you're like, oh, I'm a little more flexible. I'm a little more flexible. Again, the goal is just to keep the body healthy. Keep it moving and fluid so that as we get older, we're still able to be as mobile as possible. Move it or lose it, as they say. Use it or lose it. There you go. All right, send the leg down, shake it out. And now we're going to roll onto our back. So we'll do some little bridges. We'll do some bridge postures. So you're going to take your feet up toward the hips, hands on the floor, and then make sure the toes are parallel, or the feet are parallel, so not out to the side. So knees in line with the hips, and then we're going to press the hips up toward the ceiling, press those feet into the floor. We're going to hold this for just a few breaths. And then back down. And then inhale back up. This is strengthening the glutes, the hamstrings, the back muscles. Exhale, release. And one more. And then back down. All right, bringing the right knee, send the left leg down, bring the right knee in toward the chest cave, just squeeze. And now from here, flex that right foot and send it up toward the ceiling. Now, you're going to try and grab the sides of your foot and pull that knee down toward the floor. If you can't quite grab your foot, that's okay. Grab your calf and pull it down that way. Or maybe your hips are super tight. Grab the back of your leg. So many options. See, everybody can do this. Make sure that left foot is nice and flexed. Try not to roll from side to side. Just keep it nice and grounded. That left leg grounded into the floor. Breath, breathe into the belly, feel a deeper stretch. Every exhale, we pull it a little further down. And then release. Send the leg down, shake it out. Left leg comes up. Bring the knee in. And then flex that right leg, the right foot. Send the left sole of the foot up to the ceiling. Grab both sides and then pull that left knee down toward the floor. Keep it as close to the body as possible. Now again, you could grab your calf. You can also grab behind your thigh, whatever is most comfortable. Again, I am not naturally flexible. Let me just put that out there. I couldn't do this. I still can't really do the splits very well. Front, side splits, but yoga makes me more flexible than I've ever been, even when I was a dancer. So it's very possible to gain flexibility. And then release, send it down. All right, let's do a twist. So taking the arms out to the side. Let's do one where you might gently crack your low back, which always feels super yummy. So you're gonna flex the feet or keep them here wherever. Flex the feet, 90-degree angle if you can. And then you're gonna take the knees over to the right. Yes. And then use the muscles in the belly to pull them back and then send them over to the left. Gazing up to the ceiling. Then inhale back up. Try not to rest on the floor. Don't just stay there. We'll get there, but this isn't that. This one is working those muscles just a little bit. Oh, this is so good. I love this one. I do this in the mornings. My back almost always cracks. But again, in a healthy pop, gets out of alignment. Who needs a chiropractor? I do sometimes. All right, now we're going to take them back over to the right and gaze over the left shoulder. If you want, you can wrap that left leg around the right and then makes it a little deeper. Try to keep both shoulders on the floor. Unhook the legs if they were crossed, bring them back into the chest, give them a squeeze, rock from side to side. And then arms back out to a T, take the knees over to the left this time, gaze over the right shoulder. If you want to cross that right leg over the left, now again, try and situate yourself to have both shoulders on the floor, so that might mean your knees don't touch the floor, that's okay. Gaze over the right shoulder. And then unhook the legs if they were crossed, bring them back in. Give them a squeeze. And then from here, you can go into any other posture that you know that you would like, that your body still needs. If not, we're going to go into our final resting Shavasana by taking the legs down, feet a little wider than hips, shoulders rolled under, opening the chest, elevating it a little bit, palms to the sky, and gently blink the eyes closed. Now I encourage you to stay here as long as you like, as long as you can. We'll stay here for a few minutes and I'll bring you back when it's time. This posture is teaching us the importance of rest, which is very difficult for some people. It's teaching us how to be still. It's teaching us to appreciate Mother Earth that supports us below. Teaching us how to let the body acclimate all the things that we just put it through. And it's teaching us how to meditate and focus the mind and breath. So while we're here, just focus on breathing in and out. Relax the body and the face. And I'll see you on the other side. Continue staying here and pause the video. Or start to come out of it, gently wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles around. Bring the legs together, reach the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Bring the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Side in fetal position, taking one more moment to appreciate the day. And press back up to seated. Bringing hands to heart center, bowing your chin, thanking yourself for honoring your body, mind, and spirit with yoga today. Thank you so much for joining me. It is my honor to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day.